and welcome to GouldFish Plays CSI Dark Motives. And it seems we are on the fifth and final case. Dragon and Drop-In. Ooh, or some edgy, clever naming going on there. So, hey, what else are we going to do but drag and drop this case and get it loaded? So, yeah. Let's get going, shall we? Oh, no, we start over. First mistake of the day. And, I'm guessing by his portrait here that we might be working with the one, the only, Gil Grissom. This is before he sort of got fed up with the series, or whatever happened to him when he decided to leave. And it was him and Sarah that went away, and then Sarah just came back randomly now and then. No real rhyme or reason behind a lot of it. I'm guessing their sales. Black Friday on the mind. I guess in their viewing figures must have dropped when he left. And her, so she being the one that really, like in series anyway, really wanted to leave, was the obvious choice to come back. So let's see how this case goes and how it wraps all the other 4 cases together. Because that's what they like to do in these games. The first 4 cases seem to be a bit random.
An exotic animal has been reported stolen from a traveling reptile exhibition, Cirque des Lizards. They were planning their grand opening tomorrow, but they can't do it without their star attraction, an Indonesian Komodo dragon. Fascinating creatures. 8 feet long and capable of killing a man. Insurance companies will cover animals reported stolen. Even the owner becomes a suspect. I'm going to join you personally on this case. You've done well so far, and I'm looking forward to working with you. Let's head over to the grounds.
So, as I was trying to say before, Gil rudely interrupted me there. Yeah, normally the 5th case somehow links all the other cases together and tries to make sense of whatever weird and convoluted plot they had. And this isn't even a murder. Why are we getting involved here? A missing Komodo dragon? That doesn't seem like a case for the mighty CSI. But let's get to it, shall we? And go to Cirque des Lizards. Oh, I was expecting some sort of shot to set the scene, but I guess we're going straight into the CG stuff. How can you tie a circus on lizards? Holy crap on a biscuit, what the hell is that? I guess we probably should talk to him first. I don't wanna.
Name's Arnold Ziegler. I'm the promoter behind this show. You're the police? Detectives?
We're with the Las Vegas Crime Lab, Mr. Ziegler, and we're treating this as a crime scene.
Hey, that's exactly what it is. Maybe it seems silly to you, and you probably don't even know what a Komodo dragon is.
World's largest lizard. Ferocious carnivore. Found on the steep slopes of Komodo in the Lesser Sunda chain of the Indonesian archipelago.
Well, maybe you do know what a Komodo dragon is, but I bet you don't know that they're meat eaters. Nasty ones.
Actually, I just said that, Mr. Ziegler. If you want your lizard back, let's not repeat ourselves.
And here I was thinking that a Komodo dragon was a dragon that you used as a dress when you're doing Komodo. No, I'll keep these jokes to a minimum, I guess. Unlike that is one maximum joke. Holy crap. And when he started talking? Ugh. Right, well, so let's try and put the detective face on. And the detective voice on. And, let's start asking the questions, shall we? So, was anyone here that might have been... What? Oh, was anybody here that might have seen something? Also, I could read. Not an important thing for a CSI, I believe.
Ernie Roundtree, maybe. Our night watchman? Nothing unusual on his incident report sheet. Of course, he stopped filling it out about midnight. Unfortunately, that's standard for Ernie. I've ragged him about it, but you know what they say about good help being hard to find. Also, cheap help.
If Mr. Roundtree's unreliable, do you consider him a suspect?
That sounds way more ambitious than Ernie. And these critters are as big as they are ugly. And vicious when they're fooled with. Of course, a lizard gets used to the people around him, and if he, the lizard, not Ernie, felt comfortable enough, I suppose Ernie hauling him off is possible. So he's your suspect?
He's a suspect. We check every possible angle and don't rule anybody out until the evidence points its finger.
Yes. Pity that Komodo dragon isn't as big as he is ugly, or it probably would have been able to spot it from space by now. So, can you tell us how to get hold of Ernie Roundtree?
Actually, I thought you might ask that.
Of course
I
you did.
checked his application, and his address is a P.O. box. And I tried the phone number. Disconnected. It's fair to say he's local. Look, I know this may sound awful sloppy on my part, but I just hired the guy for some short-term overnight lizard babysitting. Listen, a circus, a carnival. You hire the people that show up when you're setting up the tents. That may not sound like good business, but it's the culture.
Of course it is. So, why would anyone want to steal a dragon?
Why would anyone want to steal 35 grand? That's what these overgrown handbags are worth on the black market.
Of course there's a black market. And did you see anything suspicious?
No, well, I don't know if you'd call it suspicious, but that mortician was around.
What mortician?
I guess you'd call him the neighborhood mortician. Victor Kaufman. Funeral home's just a couple of blocks down the street from here. Guy takes walks at night. Sometimes he strolls by here. Seen him asking our people about the show and such, just passing the time. And questions like his, well, they're typical. Like I said, the circus life, the carny trade, it seems exotic to straights. We get it everywhere we go. Must strike a chord in people. The kid that wanted to run off to the circus kinda wakes up inside him.
People still run off to the circus these days? That seems a bit convoluted. So where were you last night?
Sometimes I hang around, but not last night. I was in a line longer than a casino buffet's, getting a refund for that world's wildest stunts thing. Motorcycle stunt reality show. I had tickets, but the network canceled the series. Biggest stunt they ever pulled was crashing in the ratings.
Oh, that was part of our first case. Ooh, it's all going to link together. And it seems that's all he's got to tell us. So, let's check out.
Naja sputatrix, spitting cobra, native to Indonesia, from Java through to Timor. Lovely, distinctive markings.
Is there... let's start trying to find stuff, shall we? Nope. I'm guessing that's just there as some nice background material. Ooh.
Looks like a
What's
flake
this?
of weathered vinyl.
Oh. Yoink. That's coming with us. So was this his cage,
This
I guess?
terrarium, dry, sandy, is perfect for a Komodo dragon.
Ooh, what's that? Oh, is that a finger?
Human toe.
Oh, toe.
Maybe our Komodo snapped off a little snack and didn't like it. Or maybe this is what's left of lunch. Can't imagine anybody be walking around here in bare feet.
Wonder if we can try and we get, just collect it, I guess. Fingerprints
A
will come
dragon
later.
doesn't get dragged off without a fuss. Surely Mr. Roundtree would have noticed something. Unless he's our perp and the toe is his.
Can we collect some blood? I guess not. Guess we just have to assume this blood is the same as the toe. Ooh.
Not quite. Something similar.
I swear that looked like there was like a thread or something on it. Okay. No, I just have to assume that it's not got anything to do with that. And is there anything else in here? It doesn't look like it. Oof, there's Grissom. Let's chat to him again. Do you know about the toe we found?
You found a toe? A
Yes.
human toe?
Yes.
Was somebody killed here last night, you think?
At the very least, someone's walking with a new limp. Or not walking at all.
Oh, hell, this is the kind of publicity that scares customers off. They start imagining they could be some creature's next carry-out meal. If that damn Ernie'd been doing his job, his simple-minded job, I wouldn't be standing here knee-deep in Komodo caca.
Modo Kaka! What can you tell me about this driftwood?
Just part of the scenery. Gives a pen a natural look, you know? People love that kind of stuff, and the animals don't seem to mind. Don't know why it was tossed in the corner, though.
Is there actually anything else here? Is that... Oh, wait. That looks like some sort of impression. Blump. We've got some impression. And that we've already looked at that. Do you think that hissing is meant to be the sound of the snakes, or if they're just randomly making sounds? No other zoom-in spots.
Hey, that's all I got.
Hey, that's all I got. Make sure we got everything before we start heading back, but I think... oh, wait a minute, I thought that changed colour. Oh, that was just that. Oh, you can just come back to this bit again. Can we... is there any detection that we can do? It doesn't look like it. Can we zoom in? Oh. Nope. Nope. Okay, I swear that was a hair on that. Can we look at this in more detail? Tools.
Tiny strand of hair stuck to the wood grain. Could have gotten snagged accidentally, or via impact.
So I thought I'd spotted a hair on it. Why couldn't I just pick that up earlier? Why did I have to wait? Right, let's go back to the lab and see the Greg.
What's up?
Oh, we can go to the funeral home. When did that? No, obviously not paying enough attention. Right. Check
Tiny
that
bit
out.
of heavy-duty vinyl. Not exactly fresh. Faded and brittle. You can take a closer look under the microscope.
And whatever this
Tread
is.
marks. Eyeball analysis? Not a car. But you probably should check them out on the computer. Better safe than silly.
Better silly than safe. And
Human
somehow-
hair. You hit the follicle jackpot too. Who says you can't win in Vegas? Wood must have pulled out a hair on impact. Don't be surprised to find a Vic with a cracked skull and brain hemorrhage. Check out the DNA I ran from it, and try the follicle under the microscope too.
One, two. That's different. Normally they don't split that out, but
Nothing new to report on that.
take that
You do
finger.
like to keep me on my toes. Prints from foot digits are cataloged way less than ones on our finger. Still, I'll run it as far as a single toe can go, and I'm running some DNA from it.
And time for... Come on, yes, I know. Evidence, evidence. And look at the driftwood.
Well, this is the first driftwood with reptilian feces sounded I've ever processed.
I should hope so. So, we got something under the microscope, didn't we? Driftwood hair. And... Oh, I can't do anything with those yet. So, I'm going to guess... We're not going to find much, eh? So, let's see. I hate this minigame because it sucks so much. And they're definitely different. Definitely different. There's a lot of similarities, but is it enough? If I say I think this is a match, Wooly.
Don't quite have a match there. Check the details when doing the comparison. Only when you're sure should you ask for confirmation. There might be one in this group that makes a match. There's a clear difference between those. Make sure you've got a match before you ask me for a confirmation.
I hate you, Grissom. It's the ones I
don't believe in luck, but I don't mind getting lucky. The air forces of some countries catalog pilots' toe prints. It seems aviation boots are often among the few survivors in charred aircraft wreckage.
And nice
Back
playing
in
that.
92, the Ukrainian Air Force made a highly publicized tour of the United States, during which several pilots defected. Our lost toe could have belonged to one of them.
Thank you. And I like how that video played behind, because that's good. Tire treads. Look different. Different.
I'm not sure any of these match.
Yep, I was thinking the same thing for once. So, driftwood DNA. Have we actually got any matches on the DNA so far? At least the randomly searched ones? And why does fingerprints show their name where the DNA only shows an ID? Doesn't sound like they're particularly compliant.
I'm not sure any of these match.
No, they don't. Match that. No. Anyway, back to the human toe. Well, we think we've got an idea of who it is, but gotta go through everything just to be sure. Gotta get that proficiency rating at the end. Click and drag. Damn you, Flash.
I'm not sure any of these match.
And I think that is everything. So, Brass, because he should be able to give us
What do you
an
need,
idea.
guys?
Yeah. Background check on Dominique potential.
Let's have a look. Not getting anything. Not a recent address or place of employment.
Yeah. Can we find Ernie Roundtree?
We're working on it, but don't have a line on the guy. These Carney types slip through the cracks, you know?
So, I think we should go to the funeral home, because I think that's what we got to go on so far. Oh, establishing shots. Wonder how much.
Sir. Are you the mortician here?
I'm
That was
him,
quick.
and the chief mortician, Victor Kaufman. May I be of help? Have you suffered a loss?
We have, but it's not a loved one. We're crime scene investigators. May we ask a few questions?
Well, certainly. You police do a wonderful job. I'll do anything I can to be of service.
You send so much work my way. So, where were you yesterday evening?
Right here in the neighborhood. In work like mine, I find long evening walks of reflection most soothing.
A little late to be at work, isn't it? Or are you night shift too?
Oh, forgive me. I haven't made it clear. This is my home. It's not uncommon in my profession. There are tax advantages having your home double as your business. And there are, after all, round-the-clock demands in my field.
Nothing quite like living with dead people directly underneath you. But did you do anything else last night?
I did go out to conduct one small piece of business. Stopped at Dr. Julius Ravelli's clinic, which is open nights. I needed to pick up a death certificate. Dying generates considerable paperwork.
Could the doctor confirm that, Mr. Kaufman?
Definitely, yes.
God damn that paperwork. Have you seen Ernie Roundtree recently?
Ernie Roundtree. I don't believe I... Oh, do you mean Ernie, the night watchman over at the circus grounds?
Yes. Happened to bump into him last night on your walk?
No, at least not that I recall. I have spoken to him a few times recently, and he seems a nice man for having such a rough life. Hope he's not in some kind of difficulty.
Is it me, or is there something weird going on with that neck and that collar? Just something doesn't seem right there. Were you near the showgrounds last night?
Oh, certainly. It's become a regular part of my walking route. It's fascinating watching them with their tents and animals and, well, I suppose it brings out the kid in one.
In one what? So, what else do we have? Did you see Shorter Man early... what? Oh, is that our other dude that we found his prints? Speaking words, not important when you're doing a stream, obviously.
Well, now that you mention it, if you mean an individual who is on the, shall we say, chubby side, with dark hair, yes. I saw an individual of that description. Probably just another circus roustabout. Didn't think a thing of it. Just as I was heading home, he was going from a van towards the showgrounds. Now, I believe he was carrying something, yes. It was a board or perhaps a club.
Amazing how much people remember when they go just for random walks. I couldn't tell you what I saw when I walked to work this morning. Or walked out for lunch. But you remembered a man with a club. Can you describe the van you saw?
It was a white van. Let me see. Anything distinctive? Something on the side. Logo of some kind. Red letters. What did they spell? Red Curtain Imports.
That should do it for now.
He's given us way too much information. I don't trust that.
Need something?
So, can you get the address of Red Curtain Imports?
That's not a tough one. Here it is, but... It's in a residential neighborhood. Must be a zoning loophole.
Is it me, or is that a ThinkPad with the red button there? And the mouse button's up here. No trackpad, though. No trackpad. So it must be using one of those nipple mice. And can you get the address of Dr. Julius Ravelli's office?
No prob. And there's a doctor in the house. Running an after-hours clinic, edge of downtown.
So, we got 2 more places to visit. Let's go to Red Curtain Imports. Oh, that looks like a big box that could be used to house, I don't know.
Hello? Anyone home? Open door. No sign of forced entry. Suspicious Cirques entitle us to take a look around.
Well, we were already in the room, technically. We saw you coming through the door. It should have been the back of him, because we had just walked in. But, yeah, this doesn't look dodgy at all. That's blood, isn't it? Oh, no, maybe it's not, but ooh, there's some droppings.
Try a similar tool.
Or is it the,
You're close. Try something similar.
I'm guessing...
Accuse me of scatology if you like, but this looks like fresh reptilian feces. Something was in here, and not long ago.
Well, as the saying goes, no shit. Ho 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 ho! And hello, re-enthused. Joining me as I make some terrible, terrible jokes. Now, that looks like blood to me, but, let me... Can I use... No. It obviously decided that I can't interact with that. So let's just go to the big cage. Oh, and I think that's our dead Komodo dragon.
Well, we finally have a victim. Our Komodo. Very sad.
Very sad.
Even though we've recovered the stolen property, we still have a missing person and a toe unaccounted for.
So we're now, instead of CSI, we're now what? TSI? Tone scene investigators?
That blow to its head is the probable cause of death, but we'll get confirmation to be sure.
Oh, I'm gonna bet Doc Robbins is gonna love that. The little tongue sticking out. But I swear, there's something weird with that eye. So. Is there anything we can do with that? Or is that it?
We've got tracks in the dust behind the cart.
Nothing but tracks in the dust behind the cart, eh?
Try something else.
Can we take...
Not quite. Something similar. Not that. Try another.
Oh, it's the electrostatic. There we go. That's how it goes. You just have to keep using tools until one of them works. Now, I swear I saw blood earlier, so let's see if... Oh, there we go. We found some blood.
Someone tidied up here after something was spilled. Blood.
And we gotta get to collect some evidence. There we go. Can we click on... Is there anything else we can look at?
The red curtain conceals an animal trade operation. Most likely black market. Perfect environment for reptiles.
What? Ooh. What do we have here? That looks like a big old check.
Doesn't apply here.
Almost always...
You won't be able to dust that for prints.
There's almost always prints on paper and stuff in this. Tools, collection. Let's just take it, I guess.
Deposit slip. 15,000. Withdrew 100 in cash. Can't really make out the signature. There is an account number, though.
Ooh, I'm sure that will prove useful. Anything else? Anything else at all? I swear that looks more like blood than that. Or is it just a terrible reflection? This game, man. Hi, pixel rated. Yeah, slowly getting through this. So we're going to go to Dr. Julius Ravelli's office next. Let's look at that power stance he's got going on there. Staring down our person that we're going to talk to, who seems to be almost static. So let's see what he has to tell us.
Good evening, Dr. Ravelli. I know you're probably busy, but we're conducting an investigation. We'll only take a minute of your time.
Sure, you'll have it if you can keep this brief. I have a lot of patience this evening.
Of course you do. So, do you know Victor Kaufman?
Certainly. He's the director over at the Kaufman Funeral Home. Mortician.
I just suddenly like the idea of thinking that Gil Grissom is actually just there, absolutely blasted, and is currently trying to pretend that he's not drunk. And he's like, I'm fine. This is shit. I'm fine. I'm a CSI, you know. So, that's why he's getting us to do everything rather than him, because he's too drunk to be able to properly talk. So, was Victor Kaufman here last night?
Yes, he was. Very briefly, though. A couple of minutes at the most.
Well, being an American, he'll ask for a kebab instead of a kebab. And it'll be way too clean a kebab as well. Though being Vegas, there's probably some interesting kebabs over there. So, why did Victor Kaufman visit you?
Routine business. Picking up a death certificate. These originate in the mortician's office, then go to the attending physician, who completes cause of death information, and back to the mortician for filing with the health department.
All that paperwork. So who was Victor Kaufman's death certificate for?
A vagrant recovered from an abandoned building a little while ago. I sometimes pull the odd shift filling in for attending physicians on the emergency rotation. I've got the free time, and it pays well.
You've got the free time, yet you're telling us that you're too busy to see us for very long because you've got patience. These two aren't adding up here to me. So, I think it's time to go back to the lab, unfortunately. Which means we've got to go see Greg.
Yes?
Yes. So, we got more evidence for you, monkey dude.
Pushcart tracks of some kind. I'll scan them into the computer. You're not going to find any search matches, but it could come in handy if you're doing comparisons.
Well, we've got something else to compare it, but I don't think it's going to work. Wiped
That
blood.
DNA's been amplified and graphed. It's in the computer.
That is your job. Newspaper lining.
Here's some news. I got nothing.
And this.
A deposit slip? I think Captain Brass is better than I am at tracking down this kind of info.
Yes, but I need to talk to you about it first. Didn't we get some poop on that newspaper lining? Where did the poop go? She's not a sentence I thought I'd say tonight. So let's see if we can compare that and that. They don't look particularly same-ish to me, so nope. And DNA, we got 3 bits of DNA, so let's look at that. And office blood. That's different. That and that. Hey, they look like a match.
So, this blood puts that toe, or its owner, back at Red Curtain Imports.
Good to know. Or good to know. Hey? Hey? So... let's see if Brass can help us now.
What's up?
For a second there, I didn't think that was going to show up. Can you look up the account where the deposit slip money was deposited?
We aim to please. I'll check our business database. Well, it's a privately incorporated business, dates back about 10 years. Single registered owner. A bunch of board members listed when they incorporated, though.
Can you look up the board members of the company where the deposit slip money was to...
Sure, let's call a little cyber board meeting. Jeffrey Deschamps. Deschamps? Hey, I know that name. Dead cop from a case we worked on a while back. Huh, funny. Let's try Angus O'Grady. Huh, another deceased board member. I'll keep checking, but it doesn't take a dressmaker to see this pattern. Common cover-up technique, using names of dead people pulled from obits. Better see if Greg can decipher the depositor's scrawl.
Can you look up the account where the deposit money slip money was withdrawn?
Sure thing. Well, here's a kick in the head.
That's
the
a
money,
common
all
sentence.
15 G's, was deposited to Red Curtain from the account of, I wouldn't mind a drum roll, Cirque des Lizards Incorporated.
Dun, dun,
Their
dun.
temporary production office is only a couple of blocks from their tent setup.
Ooh. Another place to go visit. A kebab place that closes at 10. That can't be a real kebab place. That has to be like a front for something. Because what kebab place closes at 10? Like, they usually open until 3 in the morning. And usually run by almost exactly the same dude at every single one that doesn't understand a single word you're trying to say, but somehow still manages to give you that kebab that you wanted. But that's a bit of an aside. I want to see if Doc Robbins was going to get our Komodo dragon, because I think that'd be funny. Ah, can you determine the time of death from the toe? Yes, toes, infamous for giving a time of death.
No, and I can't tell you the color of his or her eyes either. This is a toe. Time of death estimates derive from examining rigor mortis, liver mortis, body temperature, chemical changes in the eyes, decomposition, or insect activity from a much larger sample than this. This only tells me it was severed anywhere from a couple of hours ago to last week.
Doc Robbins, you're no use. Can you determine how the toe was separated?
Well, the toe died when it got bitten off, and the bite is consistent with that of a dragon like your missing Komodo.
It's not missing anymore. We know where it is. I was hoping you were going to go and pick it up for us, but obviously not. So let's go to the circus offices. Or Cirque de office. Ooh. We've got more establishing shots.
May we speak with you again, Mr. Ziegler?
The dynamic duo. What a pleasant surprise. How exactly may I be of help?
I swear as the game has gone on, those establishing shots have gotten shorter and it's just been sudden bump in. Usually they try and like blend it, but nope. I think at this point they got a bit bored of it. Oh, we didn't go talk to Greg, did we? Yeah, we can go back to him. Let's just talk to this dude. We'll probably end up having to come back again, but... maybe we'll look around your office. He's going to say no.
You know, I try to cooperate, but this is where I work. Unless you have a warrant, I'm going to have to draw the line.
Yep. I knew he was going to say that. So we'll have to try and get up enough evidence so we can get a warrant and come back. And... now, why did your company pay $15,000 to Red Curtain Imports?
I'm not an accountant. I'm promoting a show that racks up tons of bills and deals with scads of suppliers. Hey, I don't keep track of them all.
You had to say scats.
That should do it for now.
You could have said scats of employees, but hey. Alright, Greg.
Hey,
This thing you said you couldn't look at before. Where is it gone? Documents. You're going to have a look at it now.
so I had the handwriting from the signature analyzed by Ronnie Litra, our documents technician, to see if we could decipher John Hancock's real name, but it wasn't conclusive. Still, if you can run some names by me, I can tell you how likely it is we've got a match.
Could the signature belong to Dominic Petrenko?
Sure, that works.
Our probable victim was involved with Red Curtain, making a big deposit just before he stole the Komodo dragon. And we find a part of his body at the circus.
Oop, look at him swaying there. Oop, oop, oop. Oop. So let's see if we can actually get a warrant to...
Need something?
Seems a little early, but I don't have many other options, so... location... Circle
Company
offices.
transferred $15K to the guy who stole and killed their Komodo dragon, and now he's missing and presumed dead himself? Go check their offices.
Hey! That makes a change. Wait, did it say... Oh, the funeral home, there. So we've got to talk to him, and we've got a warrant now.
Hey, you got the warrant. Means
Yes,
you got
we
a good
did.
reason, so I'll just get out of your way.
Don't go far. That should do it for now.
Oh, what's this?
Phone number's local. Nothing to indicate significance.
I know, but it's a bit of paper sticking out. Oh, has he nicked Cisco's ball there?
The number on that scrap of paper was called recently. Let's try redialing it.
Yeah, just using regular
This
old...
Dominic's cell phone. Leave message.
Dominic? As in Dominic Petrenko?
Yeah, I'm just using regular old OBS. Nothing special. Not even using like the special streaming version or anything. It's just bog standard OBS. Seems to... I use it both for recording and streaming. And when I try to get everything set up, I actually record it first and then make sure it all sounds hopefully balanced. I think it sounds balanced. And hello, Johnny Smith. Welcome to the insanity that is CSI Dark Motives Part 5. Is there... Oh, he's got a jacket.
Try something else.
Oh, can we collect the jacket? Oh, we can collect the jacket. Oh, I'm going to bet you there is a bit missing. Tools. Detection.
Bit of a tear in the vinyl here.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to match that up against what we've got before, but he's going to be in that case, in that bit anyway, so it's not an entirely surprising situation. Have you spoken to Dominic, I can't even pronounce that name, recently?
Never heard of him.
His number was recently dialed from your telephone.
Hey. Lots of people use that phone. Don't look at me.
Hey.
That should do it for now.
People use that phone now. I hope there's no semen stains in this one, because so far it's been basically this ugly bloke and a Komodo dragon. I don't want to sort of put those two together. Though in other CSI games, yep, there was some... I swear there was some incest and there was some other weirdities going on there, so I'd rather... I'm hoping this case is a bit less... Whoever's honking their horn outside that office can go away. Ooh, chair. Oh no. Thought that was... Ooh. Can we do any detection on this? Ah. Yes, we have a fingerprint. I think we might have a whole bunch of stuff now that we can go back to Greg with.
What's up?
So let's start giving him all our new evidence. So, fingerprints.
Fingerprints. That's even better than toes. Consider them digitized.
Piece of paper.
Can't think of much more to tell you about that.
Picture.
This is exactly how I want you to deliver all Cobras to me. I'll toss it over to the image enhancement equipment for analysis.
And vinyl jacket.
I've done everything I can think of with that.
Can we use one object on another? I don't know if we've done that yet. What collected? No. Evidence. No, it doesn't seem to want to be able to do that. Well, can I use something else to... Yeah. Maybe it's gone into the microscope. No.
Maybe we can get a closer look at the newspaper in that cage. The day before last. This is a very recent photo.
And we've got fingerprints.
There might be one in this group that makes a match.
Thanks for letting me know there might be one matching. So now I can actually go back through and see if we can find the one that supposedly matches. But it's definitely not that one. It could be that one. No. Ooh. There's that. I always hated this minigame.
Interpreting evidence isn't guesswork. Make sure you look close for subtle differences before you ask me to double-check your work.
Catch you later, Pixel Rated. Thanks for popping by.
There might be one in this group that makes a match.
I really do hate... because I've seen some that are almost identical matches and it goes, no, that's not the right one. I've seen ones that have obviously been different and I've told them, oh yeah, let's try it, and he's like, oh yeah, that's it.
Well, Dominic seems to have been dealing black market reptiles to our friend Mr. Ziegler. Not something smiled upon by our legal system.
Well, he was selling prohibited animals before, and he was done for theft before. I wonder if the two are mixed up somehow.
Nothing new to report on that.
I swear there must be able to... because normally I'd expect it to go into the microscope and we could match it up, but... it doesn't seem to be working this time. Do I need... I like to think we can... or do I need to... what do we need to do? We need that other tool, the detection, right? Zoom in. And can I just now collect that? Oh. Can I do a mold impression?
Doesn't apply here.
It... ah. So I totally expect to be able to do something with that jacket. 'Cause it like... oh, he vanished between scenes. See if Brass has got any information.
Yeah? What do you need, guys?
Can we talk to him?
You want a warrant? For your probable victim? I don't think so.
Sounded good to me.
Okay, Dominic's prints were on the Cobra photo taken a couple of days ago. So this guy bought his exotic snake illegally from our victim only yesterday? And now he's lying about not being in contact with him lately? A guy who pays 15 grand for a killer snake sounds either stupid or smart in a very suspicious way. Let's talk to him.
Stupid or smart in a very suspicious way. Why did you lie about having contacted Dominic Potential?
What lie? I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Mr. Ziegler, we know Dominic sold you the Cobra. We can prove it. We also know you've been in contact with him recently. So let's cut the clown act and go right to the center ring.
Okay, so he sold me the Cobra. So what? I figured he was a good contact, could help me out with my animal supplies. He used to be an animal trainer at the Monaco Casino a while ago, so he's got the connections. I had no idea anything illegal was going down.
Of course you didn't. Are you sure you don't know where we can find your security guard?
We've been over this. Ernie never even filed his last few incident reports. I figure he took off early, lazy creep. Wouldn't have been the first time. Get what you pay for.
And yet you keep wanting to go for cheap people. What are your dealings with Dominic?
Listen, I'll level with you. Petrenko is a lowlife, peddling exotic animals on the black market. You blame me for not owning up to that? In my business, it looks bad. Buy from a guy like that just once, then he blackmails your ass there on out. If that toe is all that's left of him, don't expect me to bust out crying.
Why didn't you report his extortion?
I realize you may have formed an opinion of me as a low-type person, but I run a family show, schools, church groups. Last thing I need is the media saying I deal in black market animals, even if I do, you know? Perceptions, everything.
Yeah, because that tends to be high in the newspapers and the media. This person has bought from the black market. Ooh. Yeah, that wouldn't even reach the first quarter of a newspaper. So did you kill Dominique?
I already told you I wouldn't lose sleep over him being dead, but I'm no killer. I mean, why would I, anyway?
For stealing and killing your Komodo dragon.
My Komodo is dead? What son of a...
We're gonna cut the clown act, remember? Dominic was extorting you, and you cut him off, so no love was lost. He tried to get even by killing the dragon, but you caught him in the act. You crept up on him, in the pen, knocking him out, and served him up cold to your star, saving a little on supplies.
What kind of sick... No, I didn't do anything like that.
Tell us about Ernie Roundtree, the security man you hired. His role is unclear. Did you send him home early to prevent his being a witness? Or is Ernie an accomplice?
No, you got it all wrong. Way wrong.
Detective Jim Brass, please report to reception. Detective Jim Brass to reception.
Back in a minute.
That's a new one. Tick, tick, tick. So, what have you done with his remains?
Remains? Okay, now you're starting to creep me out.
I won't take bets because I think we're on pretty even money that he's been called away because Dominic has just turned up at reception. But let's see, shall we? Why did you take the dragon to Dominic's home?
Who says I did? I thought you were evidence guys. This is all some sick fantasy.
With both the dragon and a man dead, you needed to point suspicion elsewhere. So you hid the body and planted the dead dragon back at Petrenko's.
No. This is wrong. It's all wrong.
Look, Mr. Ziegler, we have a lot of evidence that...
Gil, show Mr. Ziegler to the waiting room, then meet me in my office.
Please come with me.
Well, a key piece of evidence just walked through the door, and I know how you love evidence. I stowed him in the interrogation room.
Who do you think it's gonna be? Who do you think it's gonna be?
Sure. I hope you're ready for this.
What a surprise! Oh, you gotta ask who it is. I think we know who it is, but who are you?
Petrenko. For me, you have been looking.
Dun dun dun! The person who's supposedly dead is not dead. He's just missing a toe. Where have you been?
Enjoying my life. But in 1 week, who can say?
I'll tell you what, Mr. Petrenko, you keep your answers simple and direct, and we'll do the same with our questions.
Who can say? So, were you attacked by Arnold Ziegler?
No, not Arnold, no. But he may want to strike me at this time.
Why is that?
I kill his Komodo dragon. But it's only fair, right? Because it killed me too.
We're not following you, Mr. Petrenko.
I sell many reptiles in past for his show. Always under table. I knew he was coming to town this month, so I planned my stealing. Last night, I go to his show to see if I could steal one of his more valuable animals.
Valuable animals.
But something was wrong. The dragon. It was hiding in corner. When I moved closer, it jumped out and attacked me.
I mean, why did it attack me? I'm only trying to steal it. Why did it attack me? And why do you sound like a really bad Pavel Chekhov impersonator? So, did you kill the Komodo dragon?
Not at first. He take me down, but I wrestle him. Stay away from teeth. But he take bite from me. But he is soon, how to say, tired. Sick. The dragon had the injury on his head. It died shortly after.
And it bit your toe off?
You may see what is left of foot.
Oh.
Had I not take off my runner shoes, I would not be waiting to die.
In such a dangerous environment, why would you do such a thing?
I pass storage area on the coming in. Cage of white rats I see. Rats they use for feeding dragon.
Ah, and you didn't want your white shoes mistaken for lunch.
I outsmart myself. Try to protect feet, lose toe. But this is not the worst.
Staphylococcus. The Komodo carries over 50 varieties of bacteria in its saliva. Bits of meat stuck in its teeth create a breeding ground for it, including several highly septic strains.
Yes, and now I die for my sin. But I am prepared to die. I was a soldier once.
Let's not call the funeral home just yet, Mr. Petrenko. In the wild, Komodo saliva is poisonous enough to bring down a water buffalo, but in Vegas, septicemia is treatable.
What does this mean?
You're not going to die from this. You're looking at a short hospital stay, right before a much longer one in prison.
You tricked me! I thought I was going to die. You let me spill out my guts, so to say. Oh, this is madness. So, what would have caused the Komodo dragon to attack you?
I am around dangerous animal many years. Never do I see such animal react in this wild way. Someone must have done terrible thing to dragon before I come.
We're not going to know the story here till we learn what happened in the last hours of the dragon's life.
The last hours of the dragon's life. Isn't that a book? Or an old game show? So was anyone else involved in your attempted theft?
No, I am lone wolf. I act alone.
That should do it for now.
Yeah. Yes, it will. Well, what can we do now? Because we've not got any new evidence. I wonder if we can get him to... Oh!
Something
Doc Robbins! Yes, he will get the Komodo dragon. Nice. Can you recover the Komodo's remains?
Necroscopy is hardly my area, but our forensic veterinarian is on vacation, and I know you're in a squeeze. See what I can do.
AKA, we couldn't be asked to try and create a new model for someone completely new just for this one case. So we'll just get the doc to do it, because that'll be easier. Yep, he acted alone, right? Didn't he? So, can you determine the cause of death for the Komodo?
The dragon sustained a massive blunt force trauma to the head.
And did you learn anything from the autopsy?
Keep in mind, this is my first Komodo autopsy, all right? Animal appeared in generally good health, no nutritional deficiencies or signs of prolonged stress. He'd had a meal recently.
Was it a human? He's like, I can just imagine Doc Robbins just going, cutting it open. Where's David? David should be here doing this. He would have loved that. But I don't think David has appeared in any of these games, which is a massive pity. We all want Super Dave, don't we? So let's see if we can take a look at the animal.
I think you should.
I think you should. Oh, because that looks like... It looks like he's just ripped him apart. Where's your care and attention, Doc? Where is your care and attention?
Not that. Try another.
Can we actually do any...
This must be our dragon's last supper.
So is that everything we can get from there? I still want to have a look at this jacket. You know... this jacket is bugging me. Hey, finally managed to get a bit off there. So let's go back to...
Yes?
Yes? You should be out in the field, or is this still too early in the series for that? Take that.
That's ready for image enhancement microscopy.
And take that.
Don't ask me to explain this. That's your job. But I made an interesting discovery. Blood from 2 humans.
Any specific tissue, Greg?
Nothing I could get a positive ID on. You can check the computer for graphs of both blood samples, though.
Hey, blood samples. What we love. Even if it does take forever for it to sort of tick through everything here. There we go. Right. I want this, and I want that.
That's not a match. Be sure before you pull me in on stuff like this. Take your time and verify the details.
Wow, you're managing to say that without moving your mouth. That is very clever. And we got lots of DNA. Komodo swab 1. So, look at that and that. Ooh, that looks like a match.
This DNA matches the sample we recovered from the hair stuck in the driftwood.
So our Komodo... So the the Komodo did take a bite at whoever hit him with a club. Soundtrack. I think the soundtrack is mostly based off the TV show. It's a lot of the sort of background stuff that you rarely hear. But I have been rewatching the series, and there'll be certain scenes that usually there's a lot of other stuff and noise going on. You can't hear it properly, but in the back of my head I'll be like, "Ooh, that might be from the." I think that's from the series, but. To be honest, these games are just based. They're just using Flash to do it all, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was particularly difficult, or I wouldn't be surprised if it was particularly easy, I should say, to just rip the soundtrack straight from the game, because it'll probably just be MP3s or some simple equivalent. I've not looked at it myself, but they are just Macromedia Flash players as far as I'm aware. It's not the human toe. So Swab 2 is something new. No, it's Swab... Ooh, we've got another bit. So as it searches, let's see if we can actually find anything. Ooh. Straight away, that might actually be a match. That's pretty rare.
That would be a match. Angela Carson. But this is unusual. Her entry is blank. No details. Just a name.
That is different. That's not normal at all. Probably have to talk to Brass about that, I'm going to say. That's how it normally works out.
What's up?
Can you do a background search on Angela Carson?
Shouldn't be a problem. Though I don't know why you're not getting... Oh, I see. Woman's logged under a fairly new program cataloging human tissue DNA from archived hospital specimens, which wouldn't have come up on your search.
What does any of that mean?
Should be a no-brainer. According to this, she's... What? We might have a computer glitch here. Says Angela Carson was killed in a car accident 17 years ago. How in the world could her DNA show up today in your dragon's belly?
Who was the attending physician at Angela Carson's death? I can get an idea of who it's going to be.
Let's go to the report. Attending physician, Dr. Julius Ravelli. Isn't that the doc your funeral director claimed seeing the night in question?
Ooh, dun dun dun. I wonder if we've got to go talk to him now. So, do you remember Angela Carson?
Angela Carson. You understand, I've treated many patients over the years. But I do believe, yes, she was an accident victim, automobile, quite some time ago. Sorry, I'm completely fuzzy over the details. I do recall she died at the hospital of massive head trauma. Why do you ask? I mean, after such a long time.
How do you have that good a memory? Can you retrieve Angela Carson's file?
Yes, all our older records are computerized now. Should be no problem.
As if.
Let's see. Here's the Carson woman. Accident took place 17 years ago. Rushed from scene to Sundown Hospital. Died shortly thereafter. OP flag. Pretty standard.
OP flag, you said?
I did, yes. Again, quite standard.
Meaning she was an organ donor. OP, organ procurement.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's how, long after her death, Miss Carson's DNA turns up alongside someone else's DNA. The result of an organ transplant. Tissue in transplanted organs gradually gets replaced. But even after 17 years, there'd still be traces. Somehow, both these DNA strands wound up in the belly of a beast.
Belly of a beast. Did Angela Carson have a next of kin?
Sure, I'll check for you. Let's see. None listed. Of course, these older medical records aren't always as extensive as we'd like them to be.
That should do it for now.
Back to brass, I think.
Need something?
Did Angela Carson have a next of kin?
Easy enough to check. Okay. You ready for this? She was married to one Victor Kaufman, our friendly neighborhood mortician. Miss Carson apparently kept her maiden name.
Ooh. So it's time to go back to the funeral home. So did your wife die in a car accident?
She did. It was a terrible loss, and I feel the pain every day of my life. That's why I got into this noble profession. I understand loss. I know sorrow. I live with mine every day, and it allows me to deal with those who are confronted with theirs.
Did you know that Dr. Julian Ravelli was the attending physician for your wife's death?
What a stunning coincidence. I never knew who attended her. I was not in town when the tragedy occurred. Didn't make it to the hospital before Angela passed. What a strange and small world.
It's a small world, after all. And yeah, everyone is connected. Everyone is just living in this small area of town and all weirdly connected. Only in a game, eh? Do you mind if we take a look around?
Certainly. I've made it clear, I hope, how much I value the contribution of you people. One thing, however, I must insist you stay out of the preparation room in respect for the families we serve here. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to prepare for a meeting with the bereaved.
And he's got to leave, but he's still here. And for once, someone lets us look around without having to get a warrant. That's
Coffins. New. Sort of like a new car showroom. Just selling a different sort of journey.
And there doesn't seem to be anything to click on. Can we... Always just throw luminol and everything, just in case there's random blood around. Oop. Oh, there's a back room. That's surprising.
Probably shouldn't take the table itself.
We'll just take its tracks, I guess. What's it, electrostatic?
Try a similar tool. Doesn't apply here.
Oh yeah. I'm sure we used the electrostatic tool before. You've got to use the Did they just randomly pick which ones they wanted? I'm guessing that even though we know that's blood, we don't need to use luminol.
An old body bag.
Ooh, and look. Look at that. Or do we just take the whole body bag? No. Or we need to use the microphone. There we go. We can clearly see it without the magnifying glass. Hello, Russ McNulty. So we're playing some CSI Dark Motives, just randomly trying to work out who killed. So far, the only thing that's dead in this case is a Komodo dragon. So, we've got to work out who killed the dragon, who might have killed someone else.
This page has special entries over the last decade. One was entered very recently. A compulsive personality will often track things, even if they're potentially incriminating.
Thank you, Grissom.
Not immediately illuminating, but worth collecting. Evidence seldom makes its meaning known on first glance.
It's like playing a point-and-click adventure. Nick everything, and it might come useful later. Ooh.
Associate degree in funeral service education, 13 years after his wife's death.
Can we nick that as well? Nope. It would have been funny if we could.
Mr. Kaufman didn't give us permission to go in there. Without a warrant, we can't.
What is... So we got the trolley. Oh, set of keys. Can we do any sort of detections on it?
Not that. Try another. Try something else. Nothing special there. You shouldn't dust for prints here.
You sure?
Wrong surface to try dusting.
Are we just gonna nick someone's tools instead? Nick someone's tools? Nick someone's keys.
A keychain drive. Kind you plug into a computer USB port. Handy for transferring data or files between PCs.
I thought that was a key fob, you know, for opening up a car door. It shows what I know, obviously. So we can't go in there. I think we looked at that, we got that. We looked at that, we got something else there. Oh, actually, they seem to do this in white for some reason, but it makes it easier to spot, I think. Oh, I thought that was a bloodstain. Okay.
Something on this bag here?
There we go.
Nice catch. Though it's not unusual to find a body bag at a funeral home. Even one with blood on it.
Well, we're going to collect some evidence anyway. Because I'm going to bet you the little bit that we grabbed from there is going to match. Because that seems to be what happens. What are the numbers written on the ledger sheet?
You know, I really don't know. That seems to be a scrap of paper that should have been tossed out. Probably just some old notations that, now out of context, don't bring anything to mind.
The latest entry's quite recent, Mr. Kaufman.
Yes. Isn't that strange? Terribly sorry. You know how much I want to help, but I just can't recall what that signifies. Maybe they're old lottery ticket numbers.
Isn't that strange? Why is there a body bag in your garbage can?
Bloody. The body bag. Oh, that. Terrible accident victim. Poor soul. Blood everywhere. Wiped most of it up, then tossed the bag.
Well, time to go back to the lab, I think.
Hey.
Thing is that most of the people seem to act massively dodgy in this game. And then it's usually the person who seems to be acting the least dodgy that seems to be the person that's the murderer. And it usually in the most convoluted way possible that doesn't really make a lot of sense. And they're literally, you just sort of ask them one simple question, they'll be like, yes, I did it. It's like, what? I don't really have any evidence for you. But let's see. The fifth case, the last one, tends to work out a little differently. So who knows? It might be a little bit better. So you can have that.
Narrow treads, not a car. We'll scan it anyway.
We'll scan it anyway. Take that.
The image enhancement and microscopy equipment is where that's going.
I do plan to try and work my way through most of the CSI games. I have the original one around here somewhere, and I managed to actually get that to work the other day. So I will probably jump back to the very first one, and I think I've got the third one. Which was that the third dimension of murder or something that has Lawrence. I think that's one that's got Lawrence Fishburne in it. But yeah, I do enjoy playing these, even if they are pretty stupid in a lot of ways. I don't know if I'll go on to CSI game next after finishing this one. I might want to take a break and play another terrible game. I've not entirely decided yet. But we'll see. I've got some other terrible games in mind. So, yeah. We'll definitely be trying out some of the other ones. That's for sure.
We'll send the blood on this swab for a ride on the old thermocycler.
Let's try and work our way through this first, though, before we start thinking about the next ones.
Looks like account entries, maybe. Didn't find anything noteworthy about the paper or the way it was written.
Yeah, we can just talk to him, and you can ask him for a hint. And yeah, they'll give you hints and stuff, but it will take marks off your end score. So we're trying to get perfect in every single case, which we've done so far. So let's not ask him anything so far. And usually, when you look at them, their models are so hideous that you don't want to actually talk to them. There's some really terrible model work going on. This one is not too bad, at least.
Scanned the data on this keychain drive with the hex editor and broke out a database pattern. All the carriage returns got stripped out, but I can make it usable. Won't be easy, but I'm here to make your life simpler and more meaningful, right?
We just ran together some random words that don't make any sense. But we assume that you'll just think that we're saying something clever. Anyway, I think we were going to look at that and that. I'm not quite sure how you're meant to be able to tell if any of these actually match. Oh, so that's the body bag vinyl. Okay. And that's the cactus vinyl.
Lines up. Same color, too.
So that... Okay. So that's good. So we know that now. So that was the body bag and the cactus. Things they do in one of the previous cases, which should be on the channel, in the bonus bits at the end, they did have a video interview with the guy that wrote this. I think it was this one, or it might have been CSI Miami. But one of them definitely had an interview with the guy that wrote these games. And he doesn't write for the series, but instead he writes books of CSI. And that obviously seems to be far more important than trying to get any of the actual series writers on board. What we got? Tire treads. Oh, no, can't. There we go. Seems different. Oh, they...
Matches. By itself, this isn't definitive, though.
It's in this one, is it? And let's look at the DNA. So we got office blood, human toe DNA. Ooh. Ooh, those seem to match for some reason. Oh, it's body bag DNA that we need, isn't it? Oh. Ooh. Driftwood hair matches.
This DNA matches the sample we recovered from the hair stuck in the driftwood.
I wonder if that's enough to get a warrant.
Yeah? What do you need, guys?
Location, funeral
You've got
home.
some decent evidence here, but before we knock on that funeral home door, you'll need more on the doctor's involvement in this affair.
Actually, we got that.
Yes?
Actually, we got tons of stuff I didn't look at. I'm jumping the gun here.
Characters are similar to the pattern of data from the USB keychain drive. There's a basic search interface for you on the computer.
There we go. Knew I was sort of missing something.
Gene
Right.
Cordick, organ recipient, died in 1992. William Barilko died in 1997, also an organ recipient. Carla Brewer, Mary Sawchuk, same. But look at this. John Doe, just recently entered. He's associated with J.J. Thomas's estate. Must be the homeless man from the Claire Thomas case. Coincidence? So all of the accounts listed on the page are of deceased organ donor recipients. The other numbers seem to reflect what he quoted the families on funeral services. All well below market price. So our thoughtful, compassionate mortician has been underbidding on these specific funeral services. Why? Suppose the organs these people received all came from Angela Carson. But morticians don't have access to records of that kind. And why would he have gone to such lengths to collect his late wife's body parts?
Ooh, I wonder if he's trying to take all the body parts from his late wife and make a new wife out of them. Like some weird Dr. Frankenstein. Now, do you think that's going to be enough?
What's up?
Location, funeral home.
You don't have enough reason to get a warrant for that location yet.
Oh well, we'll just talk to him instead. Maybe he'll give us enough. Why was a fragment of your body bag found in the kimono pen?
Well, that does sound oddly coincidental. But such things happen. Previous owner, I suppose.
You didn't happen to go near that dragon pen when you were out for your evening stroll, did you, Mr. Kaufman? Body bag slung over your arm, maybe?
Of course not. What in heaven's name would I be doing near that pen? That would be foolish. And with a body bag, please.
Why was your folding operating table at the Komodo pen?
Is there no end to these absurd questions?
Nope.
Why ever would I take my folding operating table there? It's a common enough table. Thousands like it could match those tracks.
Wonder if... Did you help Victor Kaufman track his wife's organs?
Don't be absurd. And I warn you, I won't stand for having my good reputation demeaned.
We were just asking, Doctor, because of a scrapbook at Kaufman's home listing organ recipients. You'd be his best source of information in that area.
All right.
Yes, you would.
All right. I'm going to cooperate fully. I want that noted, too. I'm
Okay,
the victim
noting.
here, understand?
Ooh.
Victor Kaufman is a sick, dangerous man, and he's put me under incredible pressure for years. I detest participating in such unethical behavior. But I had no real other choice. Victor said either I helped him or he would destroy me. And my career.
Oh, what dirt did he have on you then, hey? How could Victor have ruined your career?
Kaufman's wife, Angela, was in critical condition when she was brought into the ER, but was not unconscious, and could still speak. At one point, I asked her to sign an organ donor card, which she did. It's on file. Kaufman didn't make it to the hospital until long after Angela died. In fact, we were already preparing some of her organs for transport. He said nothing at that time, though I remember he had a sick, glazed expression. Later, he said it was impossible Angela could have agreed to organ donation, that they shared strict religious beliefs against such practices, even though his funeral home does cremations. Well, anyway, he began to claim that I'd procured her signature when she was not fully cognizant, that I'd been unethical in my zeal. And he said he was going to go public if I didn't cooperate.
Meaning you gave him confidential information about his wife's organs.
Exactly. Normally, donor identities and recipients, too, are kept confidential. But doctors have access to the information. Really, I didn't see the harm. I just thought he had some perverse curiosity about what had become of his wife. But I'm gathering from your presence and your questions, Kaufman's done a lot more than just that.
Dr. Ravelli, you have been very helpful, but that doesn't excuse you.
Yeah, would it, like...
That should do it for now.
I swear if he just sort of went public, like, again, people going, I will ruin you, I'll talk to the media, or talk to the press, and probably most of the case they'll just be, so what? But everyone seems so worried about their, what's the word I'm looking for, their reputation, when they don't really have a reputation to start with, or a person could ruin it. These people. So, were you underbidding on funeral services who received your wife's organs?
Underbidding? Look, I have gone out of my way to be helpful to you people, and now you insult me with this ridiculous, bizarre question?
That's what we do.
How could I run a business that way?
We're just talking about a handful of clients, Mr. Kaufman. And Dr. Ravelli tells us he was helping you trace these people. Why would that be?
I find this line of questioning as offensive as it is incomprehensible.
Of course you do. Well, I think we now have enough information to get
What
a
do you need,
warrant.
guys?
Though I never know these things. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard.
Hey, evidence is really mounting. Let's get some more, with a thorough search of that funeral home.
Yay! Because that's what we do in this game. We keep searching, and he's buggered off. We can go in here, and now...
Let's open it.
So who is this?
Our homeless heir from the Claire Thomas case. Looks like he's ready for cremation. Now that's odd. Fresh incision over his heart scar. Stitched back up.
What does it mean there's a second person under there?
There's something underneath. Give me a hand. It's Ernie Roundtree, our missing security guard. Well, I think we've found enough to put Victor away for a long time.
Hey, that should be it. Yeah, end. So, actually have anything else we can do here? Let me zoom in. Or is it literally that's all we needed to see was him under there? Oh, we can actually go back. Beep. So, literally anything else in here? Is that it? Just, well, I say, is that it? There's obviously quite a lot, but that seems quite a bit.
What's up?
I think we need to get...
You got him dead bang. Still, won't be easy to bring him in. I've got a car outside that funeral home, and there's no sign of him. So where does a crazed homicidal mortician go after his life has come unraveled?
Probably the doctor's office, I'm going to guess. Hey! We've got him with a syringe. I'm going to stick him with this. It's got my pee in it. So, I guess we're going to the animation, the model work, and just Gil Grissom just sort of, I'm too drunk for this. I'm way too drunk for this.
Mr. Kaufman, what are you doing?
Keep back. Keep back or I'll skip a step with the good doctor and we'll start the embalming procedure just a little bit early with my personal blend of formaldehyde and insecticide.
You don't want to do that, Victor. You had a mission, didn't you? An objective? This isn't part of your plan. Stay calm, Doctor.
Do my best.
You're in control, Mr. Kaufman. But let's talk. Like the calm, thoughtful man that you are.
Go ahead. Go ahead and ask your question. Maybe I'll answer.
Ask your questions while I've got this syringe point. I swear that's actually going through his neck. Look at, yep. Through. Just constantly stabbing him. He should be dead. So, did you know Ernie Roundtree?
The lazy security guard.
That would be the one.
He's much more than that. You've been keeping an eye on him, right, Victor? May I call you Victor? Him and the other recipients of your late wife's organs.
Stab.
You make it sound like I'm a stalker.
Stab.
I don't think you started out that way, but you got impatient. That's why we found Ernie Roundtree's body at your funeral home about to be cremated, hidden beneath the body of J.J. Thomas's alleged son, another of Angela's organ recipients.
Those ghouls didn't have a right to her organs. They were hers. Surely you understand that, don't you? Don't you?
Please don't excite him.
Why'd you do it?
I'm a man who loved his wife very much, and I am a religious man. So what else could I do?
You were trying to restore her body to its perfect state?
If you don't understand, I can't help you.
I think I do understand, Victor. But you have sinned, haven't you? You believed the doctor pressured your wife into signing. So you blackmailed him for years and tracked your beloved wife's organs. After John Doe, the restoration of Angela was almost complete after a decade of work. But the coincidence of Ernie working nearby must have seemed to you a sign, a divine gift. The final piece of this puzzle you were reassembling had been put right before you. You killed Ernie, removing his kidney and leaving it atop the body bag. You went for your rolling table, but the Komodo came out and began eating your trophy. You tried to beat him back, but you weren't fast enough.
I did it for Angela. You do understand. Would you have me doom her to remain in her cold grave on the great day when the heavens open, ready to welcome her? She could not make that journey unrestored. I did it for her, and I would do it again. But you are right, Mr. Grissom, my mission is complete. When the great day comes, Angela will be ready, and so will I.
Everything you've done so far has been out of love for Angela. Don't kill again out of hate.
I must kill one last time, Mr. Grissom. But again, you're right. Such a wise man you are. We could have been great friends. I kill one last time for love.
And he's killed himself, I'm gonna guess. Yep. I'll just sort of spray this stuff into my mouth.
The evidence. We can learn so much from the science, but we'll never fathom the inner workings of the human heart. Not the organ, the soul. You surprised to hear me use a word like soul? Well, the human animal has a unique level of cognizance. The only creature who understands and can foresee its own death. The only animal that looks at the sky and wonders about a supreme being. And while such thoughts may separate us from the rest of the lizard circus and give us the ability to make art and explore science They can also lead a tortured soul like Victor Kaufman down strange, twisted paths that even forensics can't unravel. Good work on these cases. I realize some of them must have seemed bizarre, but this is just the beginning for you.
Wow, that was a very, very long bit of exposition there at the end, and yeah, it didn't really wrap all the cases up like it normally would do. I think they were implying that he had something to do with the previous cases with killing them, but yeah, I don't know. And now we get to the question stage, and yeah, what's the chances I'm going to remember that phone number? Gadget Eye Games. The name doesn't ring any bells. So I'll have to say no, I've not played them, but I might have to check them out if they're a bit like this. Because I just enjoy playing weird and wonderful games, to be honest. But let's anyone guess? I think it's this one. I think I remember more 5s in it, but nope, got it wrong. The study of animal feces is called I think it's scatology, isn't it? Yes. Yay! I know about shit. Great. Which range of years were the entries in a funeral service vigilant? Oh God. Oh. This can't be that. It must be based around this year. I'm gonna guess that. Yes, because it's about 17 years ish. Oh, the Wadjet games. Sorry, yes. Yes, I've not played the Blackwell games, but I did play the sci-fi one. When it starts off and you're in the rain, it's really atmospheric, and yet you play two sides of the story. You had to jump back and forth. I cannot remember the name of it for the life of me. And I think I've got one. I think I do have all the Blackwell games, if I remember rightly. But I've not played them yet. I do love point-and-click adventures. I just find it difficult to find the right time to play them, because it's not something you can sort of play with anything else going on. You really have to pay attention to just the story, and I don't always have a chance just to pay. Gemini Rue, yes, very good game. I don't always have the time to only be playing a game and that's it. Usually like someone's trying to talk to me or TV on or something. But yeah, I need to get back into a lot of those. Is it pretty much, I'm sure I do have some of their games, because they do have a great style to them normally. And I've got a whole bunch. You can't see me, but I'm waving my arms around the room, and I've got a whole bunch of point-and-click adventures here that I need to work through, and some weird ones as well, like Down in the Dumps, which might be the next game I play. I've got most of the Broken Sword games, and I've got like some Myst style ones here, and all sorts. Blade Runner, I do. I'll have to check out Primoria. I do actually have Blade Runner, just the CDs, which I can actually play on these old computers without needing ScumVM. But yeah, if you've checked those out, try Delphine. Way before they did like Flashback and stuff, they did a whole series of great games like Operation Stealth, aka it was rebranded as a James Bond game in America. Future Wars, which was their first one, which has some really lovely artwork to it, and Cruise for a Corpse, which I have done a video on because I love Cruise for a Corpse. It's such a good game. I do have some other point and clicks around here. I'm just trying to look around and spot them. But yeah, I do love that type of games. Stored in the refrigerator. Did I even look in the refrigerator? Oh, I keep sort of jumping between the chat and here and getting lost. Eyes, pancreas, brain. Who knows? Eyes. It's not going to be brain, is it? You don't store brains. So liver, heart, lungs. I'm going to get such a bad report in this one. Oh, that one, it was formaldehyde and insecticide. So what, 3 out of the 5? And hey, I still got a master rating. Hey! Which means we get all of the extras. So, oh, and we get to see this dude again. This, so let's start viewing some of these. And yeah, definitely need to do more point and click games because they're generally quite good. Sort of hoover everything up. We get to see how they designed some of these things before. Oh, that was the showroom. Look at that. And it looked absolutely nothing like it. That concept art might as well not have been made. Funeral home, back office. Well, that looks pretty similar. Where was the refrigerator in there? And that's completely different as well. And Victor Kaufman. That really? Because that looks more like the other dude. The guy that was going to die but didn't die. Yeah, it feels like someone made this artwork and then didn't actually use any of it. And really, some concept art of Ernie, I should say. He wasn't even seen apart from the very end. And now we got this guy. He will be talking to us. So I'll shut up.
In terms of the tools of the trade, once we're done the documentation, we get to processing the physical evidence. Now, we can do that in several different ways. We can use powders, which I've shown you, or we can use chemicals. Chemicals can be used on different items of evidence. But for the most part, those are types of evidence that we need to take back to the lab and do it under a hood where the air is flowing because they can be very damaging to your health. So we will use different things. Some chemicals that we'll use is such as vinhydrin. Vinhydrin reacts with the amino acids that are found in a fingerprint. Or we'll use sodium chloride, which reacts to the salts within the fingerprint. There are other chemicals that are being developed all the time that are becoming more and more sensitive to the components within a fingerprint itself. So that's the processing. And then, of course, there is the collection. We have a variety of tools that we can use for the collection of evidence, such as tweezers or forceps. We may need scissors. We may need a knife to cut a hole out from the wall. Whatever it takes that we have to try to collect that evidence. Once that evidence is collected, and it's an extremely important step, which is the last step, is the preservation of the evidence. And to preserve the evidence, it takes a variety of different methods. If you take something out, you may need to preserve it in a paper bag, such as body fluids. If you put it in plastic, it will decompose, and therefore you've lost your evidence. So therefore you have to know what type of evidence you're dealing with so you can properly preserve the evidence. If the evidence is destroyed or lost due to bad preservation techniques, then you've lost that item of evidence. As a crime scene investigator, our ultimate goal is to determine the truth. That is the ultimate goal. The jury is our test. That's when we get tested. The attorneys will ask us in court questions and try to make sure that everything was done appropriately. And then it's up to the jury to determine whether or not it was done correctly and what the evidence is saying. We are trained and taught to interpret the evidence. And so our ultimate goal is to determine the truth. If that truth exonerates somebody, then so be it. If that truth finds and leads to the guilt of a person, so be it. But the ultimate goal is the truth. Well,
thanks for watching the stream, mate. I didn't want to talk while he was talking, unfortunately, but yep. He looks like what would happen if Barry Chuckle ate Paul Chuckle. But there we have it. That is CSI Dark Motives completed. All 5 episodes. So I hope you enjoyed that. And with that, I will pretty much sign off. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure what... Well, pardon me. Try and make it through this without sort of belching on camera, or on stream, because that's very classy. So I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to play next, but I do have an idea. I'll probably be sticking with the licensed theme, which I've gotten so far with these games on my streams. But hopefully, next stream will be end of December, which is scary thought. So, until next time, I've been the GouldFish. That was CSI Dark Motives, where a man killed himself at the end over a Komodo dragon eating his wife's liver. Makes much sense as some of the episodes of CSI, I guess. And I will see you next time on GouldFish on Games. Thank you very much, and goodbye.